Hello everyone, it is Yozu again and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. First things first, I want to thank you all. We are so close, like 5 or 6 subscribers away from reaching 300 subs, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for that one. Hopefully the videos that I make can actually help you in any part of the game actually. So without further ado, let's start with the theme of this video, and that is what are the best places for you to farm in the game. So whether you're like early game, mid game, just started playing, you probably wonder what is the best place where you can actually get some equips to make your champions much stronger. And I'll try to explain everything, my thought process. Somebody who is in the end game probably knows all, not probably, but most definitely knows all of this already. But without further ado, let's go ahead. So if you are a complete beginner, probably the place that you are gonna avoid farming for the equips is these stages, campaign stages. You're not gonna get any quality equips. So probably the best equips that you can get are from the 7th stage, because they can be actually rare equips. You cannot get epics and legendaries, and on brutal you can get up to 5 stars. Nightmare, nobody farms nightmare. Nightmare campaign, it is pretty like not hard to farm, but takes a lot of time. So all together you're gonna avoid campaign at all costs, and you're gonna go ahead and focus on some of the dungeons. So if you just started playing the game, probably the best place for you to farm is gonna be Dragon, simply because Dragon is a little bit easier than Fire Knight. Fire Knight is ultimately the best place in the game to farm because of the sets that it has, but much easier is Dragon's Lair. And well, I'll show you why. Let's get a look at the artifacts that you can get. So you can get accuracy, gives you 40 accuracy, speed gives you 12% speed, lifesteal. For the early game, lifesteal is probably the most important set you can have. So I mean, you'll need some speed on your champions, but lifesteal that heals you 30% of the damage dealt is gonna help you through so much PvE. You can actually use some lifesteal sets, and as soon as you get something from like Dragon, you can equip it on some of your champions that you actually use for farming Dragon, and then farm it even easier. Destroy set, not a good set. Toxic set can be useful in some places. Frost Days Avenging, not great sets, but Stalwart set, another amazing set, especially against some bosses. Reduces damage taken from AoE attacks by 30%. But you're probably wondering, if you just started playing the game, what is the best place to farm? And it all depends on the champions that you have, and you're going to be looking at the affinities of the boss. For example, if you're going for Kale as your starting option, probably the best starter, not probably, but it is the best starter in the game, you're gonna focus on his like strong affinity and his magic affinity, so he will be doing great against these 3 stages. For example, you're gonna be avoiding Force because Force affinity is stronger to magic affinity. So then other than that, you're gonna be looking at this place right here, which says you can earn equips that are 3 to 5 stars. Drop rates on the 5 stars on these places is much lower than like on these places in here on later stages, but for a beginner this is perfectly amazing spot for you to farm. So for example, if you have managed to get like Artec right now, because he's a free champion, you can actually go ahead and use probably the combo of Artec and Kale together to beat this stage, farm it as much as you can. So opponents in here are not the strongest. When you get enough, in my opinion, you have to sell all 3 and 4 star equips. I mean, you can actually maybe get some decent 4 star equips, but when it comes to 4 star equips, I wouldn't bother getting them to level 16. I would just sell them instantly and focus on grinding this place for 5-star gear. Of course, you can mix and match some of the artifacts, but ultimately you don't have to, as long as you have good stats. For example, you can get much more speed if you have like a lot of speed substats on some of your equips rather than speed set completed. So those are some niche cases. So I would say try to farm stage 7, 8 or 9, probably some of those stages, until you can actually go ahead and beat them, and then you can go ahead and just start farming some later stages. So this is a stage that you can perfectly like farm, stage 13. So go ahead and farm like stages 8 through 9 or 7 through 9, yeah. Then go ahead and farm stage like 13 until you're like confident enough to beat like stage 15, 16, and then you can actually go ahead and farm only stage 20. So stage 20 on Dragon, pretty easy to beat right now, especially if with the amount of stuff you get right now in the game as a new player, especially. So in like maybe 2 months you can actually farm this stage pretty easily. Of course, after that, try to pass some of these stages. I usually farm stage 25 and 24, 25 before the hard dungeons. Then as soon as the hard dungeons were revealed, you're gonna go ahead and farm stage 10, for example. All of these stages are solid for farming, but I have made a team to farm this place especially. Yumiko is the key part of this one, as well as Dutch. I mean, all of these guys are actually girl team. Oh my god, girl boss. All of these girls are like key factors, some of the key factors for beating this place in such a short time. So that is when it comes to farming Dragon. When it comes to the Ice Golem, you can actually go ahead and skip this place completely. And this is the reason why. You can get life set, offense set. There are so many better sets right now that you can actually that give you like HP 15% and healing 3% every single turn, or in here attack 15% and crit rate plus 5% or anything like that. Probably the only place, yeah, this is maybe the only set that I would go ahead. These two actually are probably the only sets that I would go ahead and farm for these stages, but I would completely avoid this at any cost. Do the same thing as you are doing with Dragon. If you are deciding to farm this place, go ahead and farm like stage 7, stage 8. As soon as you can farm stage equips that are 5-star, you can actually go ahead and farm those stages until you can get like some later stages. And hard, I'm actually not even farming hard because it is too hard. Joke of the year, I'm sorry about that one. Now, Fire Knight Castle, I've said it countless times, this is the best place in the game to farm, and these are the reasons why. Region set is probably the best PvE set in the game, one of the best PvE sets at least in the game. Then you have Savage set, one of the best sets when it comes to the attacking or offense. Stun set, one of the best sets as well for the PvE, because you can actually stun multiple targets with like your A1s or any other abilities, and crit damage to increase your crit damage on your ally champion. I would go ahead and do the same thing as I've done with Dragon. Farm stages like 7 through 8 before you can actually go ahead and progress any further. This is one of the hardest places in the game to farm, but as soon as you like devise some team, this is probably the best place in the game to farm. Not probably, but most likely, but definitely the best place in the game to farm. When it comes to hard, it's super difficult because speed requirements in these places are insane. Also champion requirements, you do have to have like some specific champions in order to beat it much easier. I don't have those champions, Cardiel, Valkyrie, stuff like that. I don't have them. And last but not least, last place in the game to farm is Spider. This is probably the place where you can make the fastest teams in order to farm. For example, look at this stage 20, lowest turns 5 turns, so you can actually defeat it pretty easily with the team like this. You don't even have to have like team like this. You can, in case you pull like Septimus can one-shot it if you like devise a team that can help him increase his damage, decrease boss's defense and stuff like that. These are, as you can see, free champion, 2 epic champions, and 2 rare champions, even though they're void, but you can definitely win this one without them. Also, you don't even have to have them because burn champions are amazing in here. Mordecai is one of the free champions that you can actually get on your account pretty early, not pretty early, for free actually, at the very start of the game, and he can help you like beat a lot of these stages. So I think once you make a team solid enough, like burn team or stuff like that, you can actually progress from like stage 10 up to stage 25 pretty easily. When it comes to hard dungeons, if you can manage to make some consistent team for the stage 10 hard, go ahead, farm displays. Accessories are important for every champion in the game, so yeah, definitely go ahead and farm spider with every chance you have. So that would be it when it comes to some places where you can farm. This is like guide for, not guide, but general thoughts of places that you can farm for the early game, mid game, definitely not late game, because everybody in the late game already knows what to farm. That is Fahrenheit Castle, Dragon as well, because of the speed set mostly, but yeah, there are some pretty decent sets as well, but Fahrenheit Castle is the best place in the game to farm. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.